Hey everyone, in this example, we are going to find the exact value of the expression tan of 21 pi over 4. Now, even though 21 pi over 4 is beyond the normal window of 0 to 2 pi, which is shown on the default of the unit circle, this is not anything impossible for us to be able to do. So what we're going to do first is I'm just going to sketch out a little circle. You shouldn't need to look up a unit circle. You should have all of the tools you need inside of your brain and use those to help you figure out this answer by doing it in your head with maybe a little bit of scratch work on your paper. If you have not experienced my explanation of how to create the unit circle and how to use the unit circle, I have tons of videos on my channel. I'll try to find them and dig them out and attach them here or there, but there's tons of videos. Search on my channel for unit circle and put them in double speed if you don't got the time. Just figure it out, but you have to know how it's made so that you can count out around it, and you have to understand the significance of the ordered pairs and where they come from using special right triangles. So I hope you just take the time to make sure you know that before you try to wrap your head around anything, at this level. Anyway, here I have the circle. I hope we all know that this spot here is 0 pi. This spot here is 1 pi or pi. And then if I go fully around, so I went around this way, if I go all the way around, I'm overlapping 0 pi by being at 2 pi. Now the denominator of the angle that I'm asked to find the tangent of, and tangent is opposite over adjacent as a ratio. The angle I'm looking at is a radian measure of 21 pi over 4. So it's not degrees, it's not what we're used to. 1 pi over 4, if that 21 was not there, if it was just pi over 4, would be 45 degrees. Pi over 4 would be right here, 45 degrees. It's exactly between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. So if I opened it this way and counted degrees out, this is 90 degrees, but it's pi over 4 radians. Now, it's exactly in the middle. It's the midpoint of 0 and 90. It's 45. The tick marks, or the locations that we're going to hit, there will be 8 of them. If I double my denominator, I get 8. There will be 8 places that you should hit when you count out by pi over 4, increments of pi over 4. So remember, adding is counting. Subtracting is a form of counting. What are we counting in this scenario? We are counting pi over 4s. How many will I have? 21 of them. Okay? Of, meaning multiplied. 21 of the pi over 4s. This here is 1 pi over 4. If you keep counting, you'll hit 2 pi over 4 right there. You'll hit 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4, which is pi, checkpoint. 5, 6, 7, and 8 pi over 4. 8 pi over 4 reduces to 2 pi, so think of that as your checkpoint. Now, once you do one lap, we don't have to count every tick mark. We're going to fast forward, okay? Like double tap on a YouTube video. So you double tap, that's 2 pi, which was 8 pi over 4. Another lap around will be 16 pi over 4. Ooh, we're getting much closer to the 21. If I go another half, remember the whole thing was 8, so half would be 4. So if I go another halfway around, well, that puts me here at 20 pi over 4. That means that right here is where my angle will terminate or finish for the angle 21 pi over 4. It is exactly in the middle of quadrant 3. Remember, quadrants should always be written as Roman numerals, not as Arabic numerals, okay? Now, the angle's going to land here. We went around more than once, but that doesn't matter. The tangent is still represented by the ratio of the opposite over the adjacent. Now, this triangle, reference triangle that we're looking at, can be any number of sizes, okay? It doesn't matter. The ratio of two sides will be the same no matter how big the triangle is. I can make it very large. I can make it very small. Let me make that more of a 3. So this orange triangle, I'm just going to blow it up right over here, my reference triangle. This here is my reference angle, which is always an acute angle, right? The distance between angle measure-wise between the x-axis and the terminal side and the closest x-axis. And if I think about the fact that this spot, okay, this spot is implying right there, this is that, And this is that right there, okay? So I'm just popping that out of that picture for us. The ordered pair on the unit circle, so I'm really going into the nitty gritty and then I'll talk about the shortcut, but the ordered pair is that we go over medium, a medium amount, down medium, because this triangle, the reference angle is 1 pi over 4. Pi over 4, that measure is equivalent to that measure. If you thought of it in degrees, it's 45. If you ever took geometry, which I assume you did, you should know about a 45, 45, 90. It's an isosceles triangle. This leg and this leg are equivalent. And you should know that the ordered pair that corresponds to this point in the middle of quadrant 3, you might know it as 5 pi over 4 as the angle. That's not the point. That's not the sine. That's not the cosine. That is the angle, the radian measure. It is equal to the 225 degrees, but it is 5 pi over 4 radians, okay? That's just the measure it's coterminal with, but the ordered pair is left medium, down medium. That is, let's scooch this up. Left medium, medium is root 2 over 2, and then it is down, negative is down, medium, root 2 over 2 again. So medium refers to root 2 over 2 in size. A little or small amount in my world refers to 1/2, and a lot is radical 3 over 2. 1, 2, 3, small, medium, large, whatever you need to do to think of it. All right, so those are some details. Now, those are not the tangent though, right? That is your x and your y. You could also think of that if this is theta, that is your opposite over adjacent. It could also be your cosine and your sine of this angle, but the tangent is the opposite over the adjacent. I don't expect you to make a fraction with this. Nobody does. Come on, we're big boys and girls. Opposite over adjacent. Anything over itself, I hope we all know, is 1. Now this was a full-blown long thing, okay? Completely unnecessary, but I'm just assuming if you're here, maybe you're very confused. If not, then you might care more about just the short-winded explanation. And what is the short-winded explanation, you may ask? Any angle over 4 is going to land at these spots, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Any angle over 6, any angle over 3, okay? So over 6 is close to the x-axis. These are the special angles. And then the angles over 3 are tall and skinny like a tree, okay? So let's start with just that right now. The tangent of an angle over 6 from our wise man, Tan, the meditating man, is going to be root 3 over 3. You have to decide if it's positive or negative. How do you decide? Based on the quadrant, that'll come next. Tangent of any angle over 4 is 1. Again, positive or negative. You have to figure that out. And lastly, the tangent of any angle over 3 is just root 3. So I would remember 3 plus 3 is 6. And then just 1 3 goes with the 3. And again, positive or negative. You should also know all students take calculus. That tells us that when it comes to tangent, it is positive in these 2 quadrants and negative in those 2 quadrants. The same is true for cotangent. So if it's over 4, I know it's 1. You got a 50-50 shot. It's 1 or it's -1. We got this, okay? We're in this quadrant. Once we figure out where 21 pi over 4 is, whether you have to subtract 2 pi from it over and over, or if you can count around, you land in this quadrant. Even if you don't remember this, think about it. Opposite is here, adjacent is here. They're both negative. I hope we all know that a negative divided by a negative is positive. Therefore, tangent's positive. Hopefully, this resonated with you. Hopefully, if you were confused before, you've had an epiphany just now. Either way, the answer to this is +1. These are things that you should have memorized by now. If you are reviewing, if you're new to this, I hope you're picking up on it. And if you have your own way of doing it, there's lots of ways to do this. I am very, very aware. This is how I do it. So if you want to share your way, maybe people will like it, put it in the comment section down below. If you feel quite confident about everything and you just want to verify, like, yeah, feeling good, doing great, go ahead and give a thumbs up. Feeling bad, feeling negative, hating it, give a thumbs down. Click through for the next example on this same topic. And I hope you're feeling at least a little bit smarter after this video. Adios.